Okay, let's have fun. This is supposed to be fun.
Yeah,
It's all like, I
we're
mean,
cool.
I think we share that. We both have that desire to have fun.
Yeah, you ready to go live?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. It's just you and me. It's just you and me. All
Okay.
right? Let's go live in three,
Okay.
two. Oh, what is shaking, y'all? Okay, I'm gonna stop the character because I love this person today. I love the guest that we have on today. If you've ever been in something that's been debilitating and you thought that your life would never be the same, you've got to hear this story. You've got to hear the story of the comeback kid. Mary Higgs. Mary Higgs is a yogi. She's a professor, lifelong seeker. The reason we met was we were a part of a group, and she wouldn't even turn on the camera when I first met her. The camera wasn't even on when we first met her. And now look at you. Now look at you with this blurred background and stuff, Mary.
On it. I'm on it.
It's amazing. And for those of you tuning in right now, if you type, I'm not bull crapping, if you type in the word Mary, you will get a free gift from us. Just type in the word Mary. We have so much to talk about. Particularly, Mary's going to be talking about trauma and transformation, and where transformation comes from. And yes, I'm reading the comments right now. Carrie Ann saying hi. Hey, Carrie Ann, it is good to see you. Russ Joy McDonald. Russ Joy McDonald, I love her too. She's my big sister. Literally, is she? Are you? Are you Russ's big sister?
My sister's name is Joy, and you would love that.
I love that. I love that. Carrie Ann coming back looking like a yogi rock star. She is a yogi rock star. For those of us who know her, like instantaneously, you fall in love with this person. Mary, it is a joy to have you on the show today. How are you?
Oh, wow. So much love. That
Yeah.
feels so good. Thank you. I'm excited. Yeah, I'm scared a little, but I'm
Good.
here.
Good.
Right?
Good.
You
Well,
know,
isn't that what life's about? Doing things that are a little bit scary. You know, it was a little bit scary knowing you were going to come on, and I knew there was going to be like extra watchers today. So I put on a nice shirt for you today. I dressed up for my own show, people. If you like my shirt, type Mary. So for those of you who, we'll get to your story now, Mary, but for those of you who haven't met me, my name is Marc Cordon, founder of the Make Money coaching program and the Joy Revolution. But more importantly, I'm a positive psychology coach, which means this: easiest freaking job in the world. Easiest job in the world. I get to ask two questions to every single person I meet on the golden mic, off the golden mic, in the street, in the Uber, in the skies, all over the world. And these two questions are this. Question one is, how happy are you today? And question number two is, how much are you living life with, how much are you living life with joy and meaning? So Mary, you're a professor, so I've got a double-barreled question for you. How happy are you today, and how much are you living life with meaning?
oh my God, what two excellent questions. I'd say I'm ecstatic today. This is so much fun to be here and share my story. It's just, and it's a huge step forward. Being off camera and just hating that whole perception of, oh God, my photo. I don't want my photo taken. Here I am with you.
Looking amazing.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
Looking
So
amazing. Let's go right to it. Hit the wow face if she's looking pretty amazing. Hit that wow face. So you're feeling pretty good. Now this is the thing. If y'all are feeling good today, on this Monday, enjoying this show, letting us entertain you, hit that heart. Hit that heart button. Let us know you're alive. Let us know that you're alive, everybody. Here's the other thing. Everybody thinks that, like, or not everybody, but a lot of people think that positive psychology is about 24/7 shits and giggles, right? Taco Tuesday every single day. Keep hitting those hearts. What is it? Skittles raining from the sky. Mary Higgs throwing love around. No, wrong. Positive psychology is about truly being able to understand and handle and process the ups and the downs and the all arounds in life. And Mary Higgs, if you even look at her background, she's had a lot of ups and downs and all arounds in life. So we're going to talk about those things today. So if you're like feeling like, you know what, I'm not feeling like full meaning, full purpose, full happiness today. I ate some bad shellfish, or Father's Day just rolled around and you're feeling a little bit weird because, a lot of people were celebrating and some of us, don't have that luxury of being with our fathers anymore and you're feeling a little bit off. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know that you are alive, that your heart beats just like Mary and mine. Let us know that you're alive. Give us the thumbs up. Give us the thumbs up. Or keep hitting the heart. I'm fine with that too, because they're nailing these hearts right now, Higgs. And hopefully one day when you get to the other side of that, maybe this kind of dip that you've got, you can tell your story about that as well. That's what storytelling is for. Now, here's the final thing. I've been waiting for Mary to come on the show so we can do this. Oh, keep hitting those hearts, people. Can we get to 100 hearts today? We're at 28 hearts already. So keep them coming, but I want you to hit another one. Hope during the most devastating of times, during the darkest of days, or even when you're a 10. If you know that today, and you're hopeful that today is going to be the best day of your life that you create. And I'm not talking about again, shits and giggles. It's just going to be the best day of your life. There's a wow face down there. I want you to hit that wow face because Mary and I are going to show you what the wow face looks like. Let's do it, Mary.
I'm not sure how to do it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So I just saying hi. We're 53 hearts right now. Oh my God, I love it. Keep hitting them, people. Lisa, I see you, Lisa. Good to see you. Carrie Ann looking styling, Mark. Yeah. I wear one white shirt every 2 years. I get a stylish look. And Carrie Ann's just giving the love faces right now. Thank you, Carrie Ann. Thank you. So given all this pomp and circumstance, you are officially on live, the Golden Mic with me. What's your story, Mary?
Oh my gosh. I am so happy to share that with you. Thank you. Well, in general, when I was 19, I was in a really bad car accident and had a spinal cord injury, and they said that I wouldn't live or walk. And boy, that was a devastating blow because I was a dancer and cheerleader. I was full of excitement and wanted to go to Broadway and become a choreographer. So that was, I took a long time to really grasp that fact. And to just recreate a new life. And it was hard, but I grew and I learned and I tried to use that in different ways. And it's funny because I feel like now is really an opportunity to really share my story. And all those years, I sort of shared it in small pieces, but it wasn't until I really, embraced my body again and came back into connection with that I realized, wow, this story has brought me to this moment. And there's probably people out there who feel exactly the same. Yeah. They've lost something that they thought was going to be their dream, and then they had to, reconfigure or, just move forward, which is difficult. But I also think that the hard times make us, right? But I think that we also can learn from joy, which we've learned in the Joy Revolution.
Look at her master plugger now. You're going to be our marketing expert. I spent my whole weekend doing chatbots, and all I needed was Mary Higgs this whole time. But
But
you're, yeah,
yeah, no, it's just that we learn so much we can learn from everything. It's not that, and I've had failures and I've had times when I thought, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. And as my grandma would say, I was on the pity pot,
yeah,
but I think we all feel that in our
sure,
lives.
sure,
And so we can just use that for fuel and just keep going. Just
sure.
keep going on and changing and growing and adapting and, you know.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to go Jerry Springer with your story, but I do want to kind of go back a little bit, and talk about. My assumption is you woke up in a hospital room, or were you conscious the whole time during the accident?
No.
So you woke up in a hospital room, probably very disoriented and a lot of pain. And did the doctors tell you like look, we're just gonna come right out. You're probably not gonna walk again, and you should just be happy because you're alive.
That's it. That was it. Exactly.
What,
And
what what was your reaction to that? Because like you were talking about like you wanted to go to Broadway. You very active and
yeah, stunned, numb, completely discombobulated. What? And then I went through phases. I mean, I had an angry face, I would say.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's okay to cuss, but I could cuss on this program.
Drop it, Mary Higgs.
Because, the truth is, when I was in the hospital at one point, it was probably a couple weeks after, and this neurologist had come in, which I didn't care for too much. He was very cocky, I just thought, and I was vulnerable, and I didn't know what was happening. And he kind of sauntered over to me, and I was still getting ready to go to rehabilitation to learn how to walk again. Because back in the day, they didn't do that. They waited. You had to lay in bed for weeks. And now I think they have rejuvenation shots and stuff for spinal cords. They don't have that. They didn't have it back then. But so he kind of sauntered over and said something which rocked me to my core. He said, well, how does it feel to know you'll never walk again? And I was stunned. And I thought, whoa, okay. And then my next reaction was anger, righteous anger. I screamed at him down the hall.
Oh, you did?
Get
Good for you.
room. Get out of my effing room. You're an a-hole. Oh, yeah. All the words came out.
All the words.
Oh, yeah. All of them. And so he didn't come back around. I think I scared him. But, I was wondering, back on this the other day, I was thinking, did he do that to try to motivate me in some way? Because in a sense, I used that anger to motivate me, and say that screw you. I'm going to prove to you that I'm going to do this. Screw you, it's just, but, I think anybody would do that, Mark. I honestly do. You're put in a situation where your back's against the wall. You go, oh, really? My defiance comes out and says, I'm going to show you that's not going to be true.
I had the same reaction as well. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, let me be in my moment right now, right? But also at the same time, like, that could have been something where we don't know. He could have been like your greatest provocateur because you did recover. Not you're never going to be fully recovered, right? But like,
I had foot orthotics to help me walk. I have a limp, but that's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's gangsta style right there.
Exactly. But he I think maybe reframing that for myself later on. At first it was like righteous anger, but then it is hurtful. It's not quite the best way.
Yeah.
But then again, it did motivate me. So who's to say, I think everything that happens brings us to those, crossroads. And he was someone that I probably, if I would have that chance, I probably would go back and tell him that, just to tell him that story, just maybe to see what he would, what he would say now.
I think you should ask him if he was there to provoke you, and if he didn't, I think you should put an orthogonal to the gonad.
I love that.
On his ass.
But I also want to say that at that point too, I just disconnected from my body. I was like, okay, I am going to just push and just as hard as I could possibly push. I'm not going to feel my, as a dancer, your body's your instrument. When it doesn't quite work,
Yeah.
things are off. You're ungrounded. You don't quite know how to
Now, what do
function.
you mean disconnected from your body?
Well, like when you're dancing or when you're in your body, you can feel the connection to your mind, body, spirit. It's all connected. You're moving, and it's just a free, explorative experience, which is love. But when you disconnect from that, it's like I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I remember asking people or saying, "What am I supposed to do if I'm not a dancer? I don't know what to do."
Yeah.
I trained my whole life. That's what I was going to do. But, that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. So, but the beauty is, look, I came around, took me more than 30 years, but I came around and I learned so much. And especially when I found inclusive practices like yoga. And I just started to really feel like my life was the way it was supposed to be. And learning from that whole experience helps me, help others learn yoga and learn that they can do yoga too.
Yeah, I love the fact that you've been really a leader in sort of the yogi movement of being able to show that everyone can practice yoga. It's not just a skinny white girl thing anymore, right?
A lot of misconceptions. Well, see, I was introduced to it through accessible yoga. When I first took my first yoga class, I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. Just the sensations, the connection with your body, mind, spirit. It was just.
Was that the first time you felt yourself reconnected again?
I had reconnections, when I became a journalist. I loved that job. But then again, I had to disconnect from my people I were interviewing. I could not, reach over and grab them and say, oh, I just love your story. You can't do that as a journalist. And I just felt like it was not me. I loved that job. In fact, I'll tell you a strange fact. Just came up. I used to write the love story column at the Wichita Eagle, and it was the best job ever.
What do you mean the love story column? Like people would ask questions?
Yes, you meet people, and they tell you how they met and fell in love.
That's amazing. That's like the story thing on NPR. That's amazing. Yeah.
It was so fantastic. I left every interview so charged and excited. I thought, oh my God, this is just restores your faith in humanity, and I loved it. Anyway, but eventually, as we're getting back to, so I definitely, I lost my train of thought.
Well, I want to ask you this because you definitely have.
They know this happens.
And I told you, I got your back, sister. I got your back. And this is definitely the spinning image of post-traumatic growth and even post-ecstatic growth, right? Like kind of vacillating between trauma and then you're having these amazing moments and you're seeing yourself growing from them. Stuff we talk about in the Joy Revolution all the time. But also at the same time, I wonder about if you ever think about what your life would have been like without that wreck, or if you ever were like, if you were given the opportunity to go back and not experience that wreck, would you go back?
No, I think it was the best thing that ever happened to me, honestly, because I learned so much and I've grown so much and I've just connected with so many people. It's broadened my perspective and understanding of the world. I think it was the way it was supposed to be. I honestly do. Some people hate it when you talk like that, but I really feel like, it happened. I hate to say this, but it happened for a reason. I feel like it brought me to see my purpose and really connect with what, there's probably, I was inspired by accessible yoga, and then Matt Sanford, of course, at Mind Body Solutions. And in fact, he was the reason that I went to the first accessible yoga conference. I had to meet him because I read about him on the internet after my first yoga class, and I thought, this is fantastic. I had no idea this was a movement. So I booked myself out to Santa Barbara, and went to that conference. And oh, everyone I met was so inspiring. It was fantastic. It was just incredible. Uh, it
Yeah.
just yeah. I mean, I felt like myself crying several times just because of connection and
So,
understanding that several people who had really big challenges. Some had MS, some had missing limbs, some had cerebral palsy. I mean, it was just like, and they're all like yogis.
yeah.
So yeah, and so I thought, wow. And then I met Matt Sanford, and our stories were similar. And I thought, wow, this is it. This is so cool.
So what is, it was either, earlier on, purpose, identity, mission, it was all blended around this idea of becoming a dancer, right? And now you're talking about another type of purpose, a deeper, I wouldn't say deeper purpose, but as our lives changes, our purpose and our mission change as well with, depending on the stories and experiences we go through. So what is your purpose now, Mary?
Yes. Well, I want to empower people to explore and trust their inner wisdom. And I think that's what you get when you learn some inclusive practices, whether it's yoga or meditation, or for me, it's journaling as well. And just some other, in fact, I have a program I'm just about to release about all those elements. But yeah, I think that inner wisdom is one of the most important things to cultivate, and we all have it in ourselves right now. It took me a long journey to find that, and I always had a strong intuition as a kid and younger. I always kind of trusted that, but it's deeper, and we all have that ability to just go within and trust ourselves, and that inner wisdom always knows the way,
Well,
always.
we'll talk about this inner wisdom. And number one, why is it that so many of us are like disconnected from our inner wisdom?
I think we're always outside seeking, we're always trying to
Yeah.
figure out, I think one of the things that I learned is that, seeking things outside of ourselves isn't going to sustain us or fulfill us. I really want to help, because I did that for years. I worked, as I said, I worked so hard to try to, I'm going to teach you, I'm going to show you I can walk, and I'm going to, get my master's, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and it was all external. But it was only really till I found that internal voice and that internal guide saying, what is it you really want to do? What is it you really want to share? And trusting that, we just so easily lose that sense. I mean, we've talked about this before, Mark. When you're a kid, you can do anything, right? Your parents say you can be anything you want, and you believe it. But it's only the process of our lives that we go, well, maybe I can't, and
Yeah, we're almost taught to unlearn that, right?
yes.
Hmm.
And so I really want people to learn how to stop seeking outside themselves, but learn to understand that the transformation is within. They
Mm.
can learn within if they would just listen and trust that. And I also believe that exploration is the most important. Of course, this is probably my mic drop. I should save.
Oh, okay, okay. And I heard the word exploration. I know Carrie Ann's up in here, so she's like, "You better not take my copywritten shit." So, I just want to throw a couple things out here. Carrie Ann, you go, girl. Lisa Brang is talking about that doctor, that neuroscientist. What an ass! Sorry that happened.
Yeah.
I think we've got a new brand here, Mary Gangsta Yogi. We Paula's up in here, loving the job that you had when you got to interview people, and Carrie Ann's just popping back. Love the idea of helping people to tap into their inner wisdom. So let's talk about it. Let's. Carrie Ann said, "Go take it. Take her exploration line." She's like, "There's plenty more."
Not our
But
exploration line. It's all of our exploration, right?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, and I won't. We do learn to like unlearn this sort of inner wisdom, and then I love the fact that you brought it up, and then we got to retrust it again. We have to retrust that that's the voice amongst the millions of voices that are pulling us in a million different directions. of like what life coaches use, authenticity and all that kind of stuff. But there is something to it. There is something to it, right? And so the question that I have for you is, okay, once we start kind of, I guess it might feel like a little rumbling or something that keeps us up at night, or maybe something in passing when you're walking or taking a shower, like, oh, I really wish that I would have done this, right? How do we start beginning to trust that inner voice, that inner wisdom, and not just like, every random thought that comes in, we get
Right.
shiny object syndrome, because I think that's the extreme of it, is like every thought that comes through, squirrel, right? So how do we, in our truest form, how do we trust that?
Well, you have to, and obviously there's not one way to do this. There's
Mm-hmm.
not like one answer. We all come to it in different ways, in different forms, and different times. So, there's just, I hate to say, oh yeah, this is the absolute 1, 2, 3, 4 of how you do it. But I think you have to just identify, like for me, what what you were feeling before, how you dealt with things in the past, and possibly how can I find the present? How can I connect? We hear that all the time. How can you connect with the present? In fact, I just thought of this exercise I learned in Mind Body Solutions. You want to do it?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so I hope everybody does this out here. Okay, so everyone should close their eyes and really start to ground your feet down into the ground. Just feel the sensation of your feet heavy on the floor. Just start breathing in and out of your nose. Just feel your chest expand as you inhale and exhale. Feel the breath in your body. This is life. And when you feel a sense of calm coming over you, place one hand in front of you on the table and just gently press it down, just gently. And keep your feet grounded, but also push your hand on the table slightly. Just breathe in and out through your nose. Let go of all tension. Just feel the sensation between your hand and your feet. Feel the energy coming out of your head at the top. Just breathe. And when you're ready, come back to where you were in the beginning. Deep cleansing breath in and out of your nose. Breathe it in and out of your mouth if you like. Open your eyes. How was that? How did that feel?
All right. All right, all right, all right, all right.
Do you feel like you connected to the present moment?
I totally did. I totally did. And one of the cool things is like I don't feel like I'm putting on a performance right now.
Because it's all just, it's just within you.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
This is portable. This is easy. I mean,
It's portable.
we don't have to spend any money to do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just a simple thing you can do every day. And I bet if you do that, I don't want to give false claims, but I bet if you did that every day for a month, for 5 minutes a day, it would make a difference.
I say we do the the Mary Higgs challenge, and all of us try to do this for 1 month. Is that okay? The feeling that I have right now, is that groundedness? Is that inner wisdom? Is that inner peace? Is that joy? And I know
Wow.
you can't like do an autopsy of me, even though a lot of people right now watching this shirt would love to see me rip it off because I look so great in this white shirt today. But like, what is that? What is that feeling?
It's all of it, and it could be something for different people. You know, um, it doesn't have. I mean, we don't have to label it. It's just
Yeah.
being in the moment.
Yeah.
and just feeling that. I mean, you can do that anywhere, and that's why it's inclusive, because it's not like I have to stand on my head,
Right.
right?
Right.
That could be a yoga pose. 'Cause,
It's a total yoga pose. But
yeah,
like, are these now? What I what also what I know about your program is there's a lot of these type of things going on with the program that you have coming out, and it just feels like we try to do all these hacks and download all these apps to get that feeling of these bands around our head, right? To get us to get this feeling of that we just did, that I just experienced. I don't know how long I was out for, but that was like, I don't know. It felt like both an eternity and a split second. It was awesome. We have Paula that's saying peace. I'm feeling so peaceful right now. Melanie Klein is in the house, hitting those hearts. Peace, calm, equanimity, right? So a lot of people are doing this. Merry Groove, Merry Gangsta Groove Challenge. Try to do that for 30 days straight. Now I've got the Marc Cordon Challenge. We're at 68. I want us to hit 100 hearts for Merry Groove. So I want y'all to hit a couple hearts right now. Let's keep going. I
I just
I
wanted to say one
yeah.
thing I thought of while you were speaking, Mark. That in yoga we're doing the same thing. We're expanding and we're grounding. It's just like we're doing it at the same time,
Yeah.
because we're kind of just feeling it all in our body, and it just mind body connection is just powerful. That's kind of what I like to call it, is the mind body connection, because we're just putting all of our energy into that breath and that feeling in our body and the sensation. And it doesn't have to be hard. I remember one of my students told me that one time. She goes, well, I don't know about that mind body connection. I don't get that. What are we doing? And we did that exercise that I learned at Mind Body Solutions, in Minnesota. And she said, oh, you mean I don't have to work harder to connect? I said, no, that's the point. You got it. She said, I love this. I can do this. Yes, this is it. You can. It's not some big secret. I think people just make yoga sound like, it's just so mysterious and stuff. It's not. It's basically self-acceptance, really. The poses, it's not about the poses. It's about self-acceptance. And I think I take that to a broader context and say inclusive, mindful practices are about self-acceptance. So
Is your program a yoga program? Would you call it that?
No, I think it's just more of an inclusive, mindful practice. Because I'm planning on. Well, I have the mind connection, and then we will go into the body. So we may do some yoga stuff, breathing. I don't know. I like to do things on the as you can see, in the spur of the moment, whatever
I love
feels.
it.
Because I think that's the energy in teaching anyway, right? Because you can totally just say, hey, let's go. And the third thing would be the creative part, because I've been a writing coach for 20 years, professor of writing. And so we'll do journaling. And then the last part is spirituality, which, maybe affirmations. I'm so excited to share it with everyone.
So it really is like this integrated self. It is bringing back. It's putting together the fractured mind, separated from the body, separated from the spirit, and it's kind of pulling it all together. Right? It's not just. It's more than a yoga course. I want to go back. I want to go back to, what is it like when you were very, very highly connected already when you went through your accident, right? And then you felt the disconnect. But for those folks who are just kind of walking around right now and they don't even know what it's like to be disconnected, right? Or fractured right now, what are some of the things that might be clues that you could be a little bit fractured right now?
Well, if you're not feeling your emotions, I know for me, I numbed my whole sense of, it just, I couldn't really feel a range. It was just like anger or crying, and that was like it. And that was barely experiencing the whole
Yeah.
level of those extremes, but I think just if you don't have any passion, you're not excited about life, which passion, is one of the most important things.
Yep.
I used to tell my students, hey, if you can pick a career where you're passionate, that can sustain you. And hopefully that helped them. But so, lack of emotion, just passionate, maybe even some apathy, you don't really care. It's like, I don't really care what happens,
Yeah.
You're not engaged. You don't have you don't really have a big social circle. You just,
I could see your life being almost like an empty shell.
yeah.
Right. Or something that we've talked about in the Joy Revolution. You're settling.
Yes. Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Because that could totally be disconnected.
I had a wonderful support system, but it was still within me. I just couldn't quite get there. I think I pretended a lot. Like, oh, I can do this, I can do that. But I think in general, I was striving and settling and not knowing what to do. And but it takes the time it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, I wanted to tune back in. Everybody's lit up right now. You've got over 150 hearts. Let's gamify this motherfucker. Let's break the record. Let's go over 200. Let's go over 200, guys. Hit the hearts a couple more times while I read out some of these comments. Melanie. Mary Groove's writing is on point. Wait till you read her contribution to the forthcoming anthology, Embodied Resilience. You're coming out in a book too. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Also at the same time, let's see what we got here. 164 we're at. Carrie Ann, oh my God, yes. The absence of passion, a huge, huge, huge signal. Professor Coach Klein is back again. I love that you're sharing your story and your expertise with more and more people. All the wins, Mary Groove. I just have to go here for a second.
Yeah.
You didn't even get in front of the camera when I first met you. Wait, how many lives is this? This is your second live, right?
Yeah.
Can you believe this, y'all? This is her second live.
I think this is the first, maybe.
Oh, this is your first? This is her first live.
I mean, I did do a couple videos, which my family and friends are like, oh my God, Mary's doing a video?
Yeah.
They know.
No, were these videos that, like, you'd shoot it and then you'd stop and you'd record it again, then you'd stop? Or were you already at the point where you're like, I'm just shoot this shit, put it up?
Okay, I probably did the first one that I did maybe 8 or 9 times. You're like, oh God. But now I'm just like second, third time, which is in progress.
And talk about your growth there, because like, it's not just you have an accident, you get back to normal and you have a program, but you're every week you're continuing to grow, like putting yourself in front of the camera, and then the first thing you do is go on this crazy interview with Cordon, right? Like, what was that like for you? Because there's so many people right now that are like, wow, that's got some, she's got some moxie to put herself out there like that.
Well, right. Thank you. Receive that, Mr. Cordon. Thank you. Yeah. I think we're all scared by putting ourselves out there and being vulnerable. We all feel this. It's not some, I don't think it's special. I think we all feel this. And so for me in the accident, I just didn't want to be seen. I wanted to be invisible. I just wanted to like meld in the background. I didn't want to show up. I wanted to show up in my small circles, but not really, be seen in my full, imperfections and all. And I think,
was that the same thing for video as well?
Yeah, I mean, I just thought, oh, it's just uncomfortable. You can feel me just as I'm talking, sort of going.
Yeah.
It just felt like I was too exposed. I mean, just too much. I just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And but part of learning is, as I know, and you're an educator too, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to kind of, to grow, you got to kind of challenge yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and in order to tell my story, I have to be willing to show up.
Yeah, I love that idea that challenges are opportunities for growth, right? And but then there's things like fear,
Oh
right, and
God.
vulnerability that show up. Like, how do we, like, how did you get over those humps, and how do you continually get over those humps? I mean, your program's coming out, and that's a new growth curve, right? Like getting on camera, a growth curve. You know what I mean? Like how do we get through that fear and vulnerability? I mean, is it something that you ignore?
Well, that's a. I think you have the practices which help you, because they help you ground you and get you reconnected. But you're always going to have fear. You're always going to have it. It's just like it's not something you can shake. Like, oh, now I am no longer fearful. That's happen. If we're living in the world, we're going to always have like, oh boy, oh God, can I do this? And we can. Just like earlier, and I kind of screwed up, but I was like, hey, it's okay, it's authentic, it's whatever, it's who we are.
And when did you screw up?
Oh, see, it's like you didn't even see how we are in our life as humans. We're like, oh, I forgot what I was saying, but that's normal. We all do that.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so I guess what I'm hearing is that the fear doesn't really go away. It's kind of a form of like embracing it, right? Like fear is almost like or what we've talked about in the past, like fear is data, right? It's data telling you that you're on the brink of changing. And if you know that you're on the right trajectory, let me see if I can put some things together here. If you've got that mind-body connection, you'll always be going in the right direction, even when you feel the fear.
Right, and you're going to.
Oh, I could be a guest lecturer on this on this new program. Stack me in, baby.
Don't work that Cordon.
Add me to your stack.
I am going to add you to the stack. The value has gone up.
I want to put up what Lisa's talking about here. And Lisa, by the way, I don't know if I've seen you on the show before. It's nice to meet you. Oh my God. First live? You need to do more. Hit that heart if you're ready to see Mary Higgs have her own live show. Hit that heart. Hit that heart. Raise your hand if you want to be a guest on Mary's show. She's like, Cordon, shut the fuck up, dude.
Talk about fear. I was like, woo! Up through my head. Like,
how about that for embracing fear?
Yeah, totally. Well, maybe you started something. I don't know. We'll see what develops.
I didn't start anything. I just read what Lisa Brang says. You need to do more. And Lisa's like, I'm guilty. I'm the one. She holds herself accountable. We love you, Lisa. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've got this program that you're putting together. What is the date that it's coming out? So we can get in everybody's minds.
I know. I'm going to say August. Do I have to have a date?
Oh, you're going to say August. Okay. So it's coming out in August. The thing is if you look at the show notes, our show notes have Mary's contact information there. Just click it and get in touch with her. Click it and get in touch with her. Oh, look at this. Write a breakup letter to fear, as Coach Tracy Litt does. The Lit Factor has been mentioned up in here. So August, we've got this program coming out. We've got a book coming out, or a chapter in Embodied Resilience coming out. What are you looking forward to the most in the upcoming year?
Well, should I say walking through more fear? Should I say it, right?
You're such a punk rocker. Should I say? I love it. And so this is your first time on a live show, and I want to just let you know, 12:50 is the time. 50 minutes.
Wow.
50 straight minutes have gone by. I think that's what happens when you lean into your passion and you're mindful with everything. Y'all, this is the last time we can say it live. Let's get her to 300. It's at 256 right now. Let's completely shatter the Guinness World Records. I love it. It's going up. It's going up. Don't stop till we hit 300. I've been waiting a long time to have you on. And because of your acceleration, you just said, I'm coming on the damn show. I'm not waiting for like 4 months to come on your show. I'm coming on now. And I want you back. I want you back. And I want you to talk more about this mind-body connection and freestyle with us and do some exercises. And if you fuck up, tell us when you think you fuck up. Because it's that little gremlin that we all have. And I think that your growth over the past couple months in me knowing you is just a representation of what so many of us wish that we could do. We do live in this fear. We do live indoctrinated to play small. And you're just never going to let that stop you. It's like Viktor Frankl, right? You can't take away my freedom to be joyful. And I love that. And I thank you for being on. Y'all, this is the last chance. Oh, 371. I'm not stopping. Hit 400. 29 more. 29 more. Carrie Ann's giving you a standing ovation. Lisa's giving you the fire. 18 more, people. 18 more. Now, this is why the show is called The Golden Mic. And I'm honored to give you the golden mic now, Mary Higgs. If you will, I want you to imagine that there is a golden mic coming down from your ceiling. Now, this golden mic has the power to broadcast to every person all across the world, to translate into every language so that every sentient being can hear what it is that you're about to say. And for some people, they need to hear what you're about to say. So, Mary Higgs, your golden mic is live now.
I believe that exploration is the most important part of life and that all the answers are inside of us. And once we tap into that, our lives will unfold.
Absolutely amazing.
Can I drop?
Yeah, I want you to hold it out. I want you to hold it out. I want you to... Now break it! Break that golden mic! Your first mic drop on the golden mic. I absolutely love it. Mary Higgs, you know what for you?
We're going to do the internet dance.
Is it playing? Is it playing? I want to thank y'all for tuning in. It's been episode 163, Golden Mic. Go and hit share because there's a lot of people who would love to hear this story. On behalf of Mary Higgs and we have one final question for you, and it's this. If you're living life happily, and you're living life in full purpose, what is your responsibility to change history for the better? I'm Marc Cordon. This is Mary Higgs. This has been a very special episode of The Golden Mic 163. Is the music playing? Bye, guys.